So we know there was a war in heaven, where Lucifer and his angels were cast out. This could be alluding to the Nibiru or Trappist-1 binary system that is orbiting elliptical to us, which would make a lot of sense because one of the wonders in the sky is a red dragon, and we just read that the devil, commonly referred to as a serpent or a dragon, was cast down unto the earth. And another name that typically goes hand in hand with the devil is the name Lucifer, which we read in Isaiah that he was cast out as well. So let's assume that they are one and the same, or at least one and the same purpose, and that they were both cast out for a reason. Lucifer specifically was cast out because he was trying to take over God's throne, which God and his angels were having none of that. The legend states that Lucifer started out as basically God's right-hand man, a son of the morning if you will, and had a plan to, instead of giving free will to the people, that he would make everyone follow him instead. He basically wanted to control everyone as he saw fit. This obviously went against God's plans, so Lucifer ended up rebelling against God, was eventually defeated, and cast out into a pit as a punishment. So what kind of pit was it? In Revelation, it is described as a bottomless pit. So this all started out as a great idea in Lucifer's head, that he could manage the universe better than God did. Does this maybe sound familiar? This is exactly what CERN is doing. First of all, the LHC is hands down the greatest machine that man has ever built, at least according to our history as we know it. It is our Tower of Babel. And what was the Tower of Babel legend about? The people were building a tower tall enough to reach up to heaven. Basically, men became so wicked and idolatrous that they wanted to cheat their way up there. I'm sorry, but I don't think that it works that way. So what did God do to them? He confounded their language and destroyed their mighty tower. And the crazy thing is that CERN is made up of scientists from all over the world, where they say that their common language is math and science, and it is what helps them to be able to understand one another. And what is their purpose at CERN? They wanted to find God via the Higgs boson particle, aka the God particle. So why on earth would you need to find proof of God? We all know what God does to those who ask for a sign, and you would think that it would have been mission accomplished after they had found the God particle in 2012, but nope, they wanted to dig even deeper, as if there is more to God than God. So what else are they doing at CERN? They apparently also want to recreate the Big Bang. Now, why on earth would someone want to do this? It is because our world has become so corrupt and idolatrous that we literally see ourselves as gods of this world and want to figure out how to create our own universe, essentially without God's permission. This is the Tower of Babel all over again. This is what got Lucifer into trouble in the first place. Now they are on a search for more and more particles, which in my opinion are particles that aren't supposed to be found or unleashed in the first place. On top of that, they are messing with dark matter and antimatter. Are you kidding me? What kind of repercussions are to be had with this? For instance, have you ever heard of the Mandela Effect? I am planning to do a whole other video on this subject alone because of how extensive it is, and from my research, it is all directly linked to CERN and what they are doing there. Sally Field, the famous actress that is also well known as a Mandela Effect because her name has changed, and her famous award-winning speech, you know, the one that goes, or at least used to go, "You like me, you really, really like me," has been altered. And everyone knows it. And guess what? Her brother, coincidentally, works at CERN. She even describes in an interview on the David Letterman show how she was taken on a tour to the LHC and says that it goes down into the earth for miles and miles and miles. She even calls it a pit. I don't know what more we need to wake up as a civilization, but we better shape up quick, or we will end up destroying ourselves through vanity and curiosity. If curiosity killed the cat, we unfortunately don't have the luxury of having 9 lives.
The world's powerful Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland will attempt to recreate the split second after the Big Bang, the moment scientists believe the universe was formed. In doing so, they hope to answer some of the fundamental questions of the universe and the very nature of space and time. The European Organisation for Nuclear Research is gearing up for the second 3-year run of the Collider, which will take place this March after a 2-year shutdown. The Collider's first run saw major breakthroughs in physics, including the discovery of the elusive God particle. It helped Higgs and Englert win the 2013 Nobel Prize, nearly 50 years after they proposed the theory. The Collider will run experiments at 14 trillion electron volts, twice the energy it did in its first run.
When we start again with the collisions, is that we try to mimic the circumstances from the early universe, from the Big Bang. So similar temperatures, similar conditions. And then we make particles, and we study particles that must have been around also at the very early universe. So we hope to find also new particles that can explain other mysteries we see in the universe, like dark matter, for example.
Stretching for 27 kilometres, 100 metres underground, the Large Hadron Collider is built in a circular tunnel beneath the Swiss-French border. It will fire 2 beams of particles in opposite directions, close to the speed of light.